First of all, there was the lawfare. There was these lawsuits that they were trying to pin on him. They were trying to convict him and turn him into a felon, and they were doing it so blatantly and obviously.
Kyle Kulinski lights into Joe Rogan, but he also has some clips of Rogan talking with a guest that I think are really interesting. So why don't we check this out together? I'm going to have some thoughts, but then I want to know what you think in the comments. Let's roll.
So it looks like Joe Rogan did an interview here with The Ultimate Human. I guess this is a Daily Caller affiliated podcast, and he basically gets asked here about his support for Trump, about why he decided to interview Trump, knowing it would help him and all that stuff. And he sort of tells all about what led him to effectively be a little Trump sycophant. So let's watch this and we'll break it down as we go.
There was a bunch of things that happened. First of all, there was the lawfare. There was these lawsuits that they were trying to pin on him. They were trying to convict him and turn him into a felon, and they were doing it so blatantly and obviously. The case with the bookkeeping error, or the bookkeeping, whatever it was, the misdemeanor that they had charged him with 34 felonies for, which isn't even a felony. It's a misdemeanor.
And it's also contribution.
Exactly. It's also past the statute of limitations. None of it made any sense.
I love this because here he's saying the fact that Trump is a criminal and was under 91 different criminal investigations, 91 crimes is what he committed, right? Rogan viewed that as an indictment of the justice system, as an indictment of the legal community, as an indictment of, the DAs who are prosecuting him and going after him. And all I have to say in response to that is, you and I both know Rogan didn't do any fucking reading on those cases at all. He has no idea the first fucking thing about it.
Oh my God, 1,000%. I have so much more to say here, but let Kyle Kulinski cook.
I went deep. I read the entire fucking indictment, the Jack Smith indictment. When that came out, we literally read through the whole thing. We debated Michael Tracy about that. I read the entire indictment, the Letitia James one, talking about the various cases of fraud in regards to his business in New York. He lied about everything, lied about the size of his fucking apartment, lied about how much he sold that shit for, did tax fraud and insurance fraud and business fraud and bank fraud. I mean, this is a guy his university was fake, his charity was fake, like all that shit. And Rogan, who's clearly done no reading on fucking any of it and doesn't know the first thing about any of it, here he is and he goes, the fact that this guy was charged with 91 crimes leads me to like him more. This is what we like to call online brainworms, online anti-establishment brainworms. In other words, the fact that CNN is talking about all these crimes that Trump committed means, fuck CNN, I hate CNN, therefore I'm on the side of the guy who committed the crimes, right? The idea that this was all lawfare is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. We watched him with our own two eyes do January 6th. We watched him try to do the fake elector slate, which was an attempt to just steal the election from Joe Biden after he knew he lost, and he said behind the scenes he knew he lost, but he tried to steal that election. He had his own crowd violently storm the Capitol. He was still calling U.S. congresspeople and senators after that saying, throw out the results of the election. Don't accept Biden as the president. This is what this guy did. And you have the nerve to sit there and pretend like it's all fucking lawfare? His brain is cooked, bro. His brain is cooked.
And when you look at it from the angle of every accusation is a confession, it's the Trump administration engaged in the lawfare, right? It's Pam Bondi's Justice Department that is going after people who were prosecuting these cases against Trump. So this upside down lie that somehow all of these cases against Trump from all the different judges to every single, and it's a mountain of stuff, was just somehow a political concoction. That's what Trump does, right? That's not what people, guys, I'll say it again. I've said it so many times. He did it. 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 Pick your thing. He did it. If we didn't watch the tapes or hear the calls or look at the mountains of evidence or the stacks of boxes in the bathroom, the pictures of him and Jeffrey Epstein and on and on and on, he did it. You're in a cult. Wake up.
When you're surrounded by right-wing idiots all day long and all you know is the anti-establishment fucking narrative, which isn't even based in reality, you don't read the first thing about the actual cases. This is what that looks like. So now just the fact that he was charged with 91 crimes, he goes, well, that makes me support him more. Could you imagine if it's a Democrat who's charged with 91 crimes? Would Joe Rogan immediately be like, I'm with that Democrat? Are you kidding? No, he'd be like, look at how corrupt that person is. Look at how insane that person is. Look at
Right, Kyle Kulinski nails it right here. That's my favorite litmus test for any of this stuff is imagine if Obama had done this. Pick one little specific thing. Imagine Obama had said that. Imagine Obama had done this. Republicans would have lost their minds.
Look at how beyond the pale that person is. But when it's Trump charged with 91 crimes, suddenly it's, oh, that's just evidence of how pure he is and how much of a fighter against the system he is. And clearly it's lawfare and it's not legitimate. Well, I actually read the cases unlike you. And so I happen to know that this shit is real as a motherfucking heart attack, bro. He was charged with 91 crimes because I'll be damned, that motherfucker committed 91 crimes. In fact, he probably committed way more than that and got away with most of them.
He's a convicted felon. Like, hey, they can do that to you. Do you understand that?
I haven't committed 91 crimes. I haven't done that. He did. That's the difference. This is the dumbest, first they came for it. Are you kidding me? This is not what that poem is for. The poem is for, what the ICE Gestapo thugs are doing to immigrants in this country. It's not for, first they came for the billionaire pedophile elites and I said nothing. What are you doing, Joe? God, what an embarrassment.
If they can do that to a former fucking president who's rich as shit, they can do that to him. They can do that to you, too. You can't cheer this on. This is insane. And then when they try to kill him, all those things.
Who's they? They tried to kill him. Oh, they, you mean the fucking Republican Groyper guy? That guy? They say they, like it's this big conspiracy and it's the deep state and it's... No. This was a right-wing incel loner asshole. A Groyper right-wing freak. We know that. Why you... They tried to kill him. You're making it seem like it's the deep state or some fucking conspiracy. No, it was a right-winger. It was a Republican, a registered fucking Republican.
And if there was such a competent, James Bond film deep state for the left, then how could Trump have won the election the second time, right? We can't be both incompetent, bumbling, sleepy Joe and this incredible deep state of machinations and puppet masters, Illuminati controlling things, right?
This is insane. And then when they try to kill him, all those things. Twice. I was like, yeah, but the big one, the Pennsylvania one, was like, holy shit. And then the fact that they cremated that kid 10 days later, and then you find out he used to be in a BlackRock commercial, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then his apartment's professionally scrubbed. There's no silverware in it, and you don't hear a peep out of it. There's no press conference. There's no this is what we know about the case. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, that is fishy, but it's fishy not in the way that Joe Rogan thinks. Trump nearly got assassinated by some weird incel loser freak. And Trump never mentions that guy, never heard him say his name, never heard, he said, oh, I'm satisfied with the results of the investigation, and he moves on. This motherfucker still bitches about Rosie O'Donnell, but he's got nothing to say about the dude that nearly killed him. Something is fishy there, Joe Rogan. Something is fishy there, but perhaps it's not in the way that you think it's fishy. It's got nothing to do with the Democrats. It's got to do with, are we not getting the full story here either?
It seemed to just sort of go away. All the media pointed at the Secret Service for a while, and they were like, first of all, how did he get onto how did he get in the line of sight? He was 130 yards away, with a high-powered rifle. The place is crawling with police and Secret Service. And, I don't even know if that sniper that got him, did he act independently? Did he just do his job, or was he told to actually fire? Because I heard that the
guy who killed
the sniper
shooter?
that killed the shooter.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I knew there was some controversy.
Well, they think there might have been a second shooter as well.
That's wild.
Yeah. The whole thing's insane because they've managed to cover it up. I mean, it would have been Lee Harvey Oswald 2.0 if Trump had died that day.
Have you noticed we're 2 minutes and 8 seconds into why'd you interview Trump? Why do you support Trump? Not a single policy has been mentioned. Not a single one. So now, homie's awfully quiet now that Trump just kicked 17 million people off their Medicaid, ripped healthcare away from poor people, disabled people. He's awfully quiet now that 3 million people lost their SNAP, their food stamps. Awfully quiet given that the class war was just waged on the bottom 90%, where the wealthy get another tax cut, the wealthy get another subsidy, and the bottom 90% get screwed over yet again. So all this talk about Trump, why you supported Trump, and nothing about policy. And this guy's fucking ruining the country, opening up alligator Auschwitz, sending people to a concentration camp in El Salvador, and you got nothing to say but, oh, bro, the Democrats and the lawfare, bro.
Trump's team has got, the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Homeland Security. You got to think that they're...
You would hope.
I hope.
But, hey, we're only in April, right? Yeah. So he's only been in office for a few months.
There's a lot of
stuff. He's closing in on the first 100 days.
So that was kind of the shift. You're sitting back watching this.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't let this just...
Well, it's also... there's no real conversations with him where you're just treating him like a human being. Like everything, he's being grilled, and then everything's taken out of context. And I'm seeing them being taken out of context on the campaign trail, and like it was just gross.
So what Rogan is saying here is, I didn't like how the media was mean to Trump. I feel like they took him out of context. It was gross. No, Joe, the thing that's gross is that the motherfucker told over 30,000 lies in his first term alone.
He did it. He did it. He did it. He did it. We all watched him do it. We heard him do it. He said he was going to do it, and then he did it on TV, and we all... Come on, guys. When you're interviewing somebody, especially somebody that's running for president or has been president, you are supposed to grill them. That is a journalist's job. That's a journalist's job. And if you want to sit there and have a chat with a guy and avoid politics, so be it. I'm not saying there's no space for the casual chat podcast or what have you. I'm not sure that Joe Rogan considers himself a journalist. I don't consider Joe Rogan to be a journalist. But like Kyle Kulinski said about Trump's lies, you sit there and you give a major platform to this guy to lie to your face again and again and again, and forget grilling. Zero pushback? You don't call him on any of it? You just nod and go, wow, I didn't know that.
That's the gross thing. What's actually gross is the interview you did with him, where you let him lie to your fucking audience over and over. He literally said to Joe Rogan's face, I never said lock her up about Hillary Clinton. I never said it. The audience would say it, and I'd go, well, well, well. He lied right to Joe Rogan's face, and Joe Rogan sat there like, right, bro, right. Like, are you kidding me?
The man is a pathological liar. That's what he does. He lies. Pathological liar means he can't help himself. He lies about everything, big and small, compulsively. And I think even his followers understand that he's a liar. It just is not disqualifying for them.
He said, Rogan says to him, go ahead and make the case as to why you think you won the 2020 election, and I'll step back and let you talk because nobody else let you do that. Are you out of your fucking mind? So what you're doing is, you are saying, I will now proceed to not fact check your lies, and that makes me more virtuous than the mainstream media. No, that makes you less virtuous. I'll take any mainstream media asshole over Rogan any fucking day of the week when he let Trump lie to his audience face over and over, which is the same thing he did. Elon Musk lied to his audience over and over. Mark Andreessen lied to his audience over and over. Peter Thiel did the same thing. Mark Zuckerberg did. He has on a billionaire and coddles his nuts seemingly every fucking month and lets them lie about, oh, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is debanking conservatives, bro. That's a lie. They protect people from being debanked, and they're the anti-scam police, but you let billionaires do class war propaganda and lie to your audience and dupe your audience. You're the fucking problem here, Joe. Oh my God.
So anti-American. Like, if you're an American, you believe in our justice system, and if you believe in our system of electing representatives, it should be the best people should have this opportunity to express what their plan is. This is what I want to do. This is where I stand on the issues. This is how I think I can pull it off. Mm-hmm. And then the American people are supposed to look at this person saying it and that person saying it and decide. But that's not what we were getting. We were getting one side that was radically being supported by almost all of mainstream media except Fox News.
Are you fucking kidding me? CNN and MSNBC are both sides factories all day long, and Fox News and One American News and Newsmax are cheerleading with their fucking pom-poms for Donald Trump. Spare me this bullshit about how, oh my God, they're all so in the tank for Democrats.
and then the other side that is just, you know, it was just un-American to me. The whole it's just like, you're subverting democracy. You're killing the whole thing, and you're doing it with deep state money.
The guy who supported Donald Trump says, you guys are subverting democracy. No, the guy you supported tried to overturn the last election. It's amazing to me.
Oh, precisely, Kyle Kulinski, and that's a great place to end. The irony, it would be hilarious if it wasn't so bitter. I think that, these tech billionaires go on these, bro podcasts like Joe Rogan because they think it makes them look cool. And people like Joe Rogan, these bro podcasters, Theo Vaughn, have billionaires on and tech moguls on because they think it makes them look smart. So the meatheads have these, billionaires and eggheads on because they think it makes them look better, and vice versa. These people go on there to sort of launder their opinions and their viewpoint because they know that stakeheads like Joe Rogan won't fact check them or push back at all. And Joe Rogan still defending it, still defending. It's impossible to say how much that interview he did with Trump right before the election swung the needle. It feels like it had an effect on the demographics that surprisingly went for Trump. But, there's no way to be certain of that. But still, there's a glimmer of something like there's a defensive posture. And maybe it's just Rogan responding to voices like Kyle's saying, oh, look at the damage you did. What were you thinking? And defending himself against that. But I prefer to think that somewhere deep down, as we're seeing ICE smash in people's windows, and it's really starting, like, if not fascism, why fascism shaped? It's really starting to look like what it is. And Gaza and the starving kids, and it's becoming increasingly undeniable that they are trying to dismantle the gerrymandering fight going on in Texas. They are trying to dismantle our democracy and put in place authoritarianism. And it's increasingly difficult to deny that with everything we're seeing these days. So maybe Joe Rogan is having an uncomfortable butterfly in his stomach being like, geez, maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. Maybe that's giving him too much credit. Anyway, let me chime in here. Let me know what you think in the comments.